Welcome into the cage first in the blue corner, fighting out of MMA FFT. Welcome into the cage, Marco Doda. All right, welcoming his opponent in the red corner, fighting out of Honfast Fight Gym. Welcome into the cage, Noah Mitaev.
Having his head against the cage. That means the arm can't move how it's supposed to. But he's using that wizard to control. It's just a simple hip throw. And he's kicking the foot in between the legs and kind of tossing it up. You'll normally see that a lot in wrestling when guys have a single leg. You'll throw that same thing because the guy already has a hold of your leg, so it makes it easier to throw. But Mitaev is just like, okay, I'm going with the hips.
And again, you know, is there going to come a point where he goes to the well too many times, or does he just get such good position that not much that can be done about it?
I mean, it's tough because the counter to that is a body lock, and I don't think Doda understands that, okay, I just grab a body lock, he can't do that to me anymore.
Knee on belly now. From Mitaev, side control.
Now, Mitaev, his corner's smart because he's telling him punches and bunches, because eventually, especially on the amateur level, if you land enough punches, they'll stop it whether you're hurt or not, because that's what you're told going into it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it seems like the physical strength that's coming out of Doda is what's keeping him in this at the moment.
Yeah, he's able to muscle his way out of certain circumstances instead of using, like, pure technique.
Got a bit of a chin as well. He's taken some shots. Very interesting first round.
Now, if you've noticed, every time the distance was closed, Mitaev instantly went to that wizard and started to look to see, okay, how can I get it hips up and be able to throw it over? And he'll use that leg to whip the leg up and get himself in a good position, but he's not able to hold down Doda because he's able to get up at will. And so again, he's having to throw that wizard as hard as he can to try to, again, get into that dominant position. But here he was swept, and he was just swept by strength.
Yeah.
Nothing other than I'm stronger than you, I'm gonna sweep you.
Both guys have had moments of dominant positions, but they haven't been able to land anything telling.
And neither guy has been able to hold down the other. And that's one of the things that you can really see is the control hasn't been there.
Again, Noah Mitaev again, the red corner, the tatami shorts, taking on Marco Doda, the black-gray Hayabusa. Yeah, he's got a really nonchalant kind of stance, Mitaev. It's. I don't mean that in a bad way. He just maybe too relaxed.
Yeah, he has that like kind of Russian stance where he just stands there, looks forward, and there's no head movement, there's no shoulder rolling. He's kind of just standing right there.
Now working the butterflies.
Now, in the first, neither one was able to hold each other down. So it was a constant. If there was a takedown, they instantly got back up. And it made it for a point where this is what I wanted to see in the second. If they get a takedown, can one of these guys hold the other one down, and what they can do from top? As of right now, I mean, I'm just going to be honest. He's not doing anything other than holding him down on his back.
Yeah.
Not landing any punches. He just threw 2 to the body. That was the first 2 punches he's thrown since the takedown land.
And he's got to be aware. I mean, he's got to be aware of the butterflies. If he gives up a little bit of balance, a little bit of posture, he's going to push it off.
But you also got to think in the back of your head, am I winning this fight? Okay? The way the judges have things now, guys that work from bottom are actually scoring points. They're not losing as much. Everything's changed since the unified rules changed. So if you're in top in a dominant position, you have to actually land punches, land elbows, start knees to the body, do something that makes it look like you're trying to win the fight and you're not just sitting there.
Bit of mission control here?
It doesn't look like he actually has the
Easy for you to say.
I can't say that word
Easy
either.
for you to say, Nick.
Distector? I can't say that word. Starts with a D. It's the ability to move your legs in that way.
Okay, whoa! That was a big sign, a big knee up the middle. But he does seem open to take those shots.
Doda was smart, though. He got rocked and he closed the distance. He's trying to clear those cobwebs, which is nice. He needs to really think about getting this fight back to the mat because he at least will then have a little bit of time to possibly, completely clear those cobwebs.
Got it, trying to get under the hips, but hasn't got the hands together, changes to the single. But has he pulled himself into a choke?
It doesn't look like it's tight enough.
Head will pop out.
Now, one of the biggest problems, and you see it on both sides, is he's keeping his hands flat on the mat. You got to look to posture up, because right now all he's doing is resting on top.
Yeah.
He needs to have his hands up, and that will allow him to actually rain down some punches and give a bit of damage.
Well, 2 rounds in the book. Again, we see the takedown attempts from Marco Doda as he tries to push Noah Mitaev up against the cage. It's been a fairly even contest thus far. Perhaps Noah a little more dominant than the first. Certainly all to play for in that second, and here we go. Dan Mavahetti clearing out the corners. We're getting ready for the third and final round. And do you expect to see anything different?
It depends, because Muddar's got rocked really good in that second, so I don't know if he's going to want to close the distance quick and get the takedown, which would be what I would have told him to do, but he seems to be fine with standing in there trying to trade. He had success in the first and second with landing a few punches, but he also ate quite a few.
Is Mitaev using like a point karate stance? Like that stance I've never quite seen before, and it's not fluid.
It's more of like old school boxing stance. It really is, because he's got square hips, his head doesn't move. It stays on a straight line, and he doesn't roll his shoulders.
Oh, is he looking to try and lock it up there?
I think because of the fence.
Well, that looks like, oh, there it is.
That's what I said. Because of the fence, Doda had no escape. Because when they lock it up, you want to circle with him, and that's why you always want to trap that leg, because trapping the leg is what actually gets that submission. And if you notice, what happened was his butt got trapped up against the cage. He had no out.
Yeah,
and you see from the replay right here, his butt will turn towards the cage.
Yeah.
And he has nowhere to go. He can't get free.
And he even blocks the escape with the knees. That's really, really nice work to hold this man in place. Gotta give Noah Mitaev some credit. His demeanor hasn't changed since he walked out. He's fought 7.5 minutes, and his demeanor still hasn't changed.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have your winner in the third round by dash choke in the red corner, Noah Mitaev.